Hello, welcome to the Willing Vessel podcast. Hope everyone is doing well today and enjoying this very Merry Christmas season. I know that I got my Christmas decorations out last weekend. I do admittedly go overboard with Christmas decorations. I put up 4 trees and I know that that's overkill, but honestly, I wouldn't mind having more. I like my traditional tree that has all the kids' ornaments and everything in that. That's in the living room. That's our main Christmas tree. But I also have one in the kitchen that has, gingerbread and little kitchen utensils and things like that. That was the second tree I added. And then I have this little pencil one that's in the dining room. That one actually used to be a big one that I had like candy cane decorations and stuff on. I did downsize that one a little bit for the dining room, but I still have a tree and I have more like jewel tone ornaments, kind of more of a Victorian feel. That one's more of a work in progress. And then I have a blue line tree that supports police and the work that my husband does. So I have a lot of trees, and I have some little mini ones because, my boys need one in their room and we have one in our room. So I definitely go overboard at Christmas, but that is part of my joy and I love it. I also bake all the things. I do lots of Christmas candy making, and I'm actually been putting some of those videos up on YouTube. So if you would like to see those, you can check those out. It should be under Crystal Dawn 101, or I can try to add the link. But I'm actually planning to do another one of those videos today. That's kind of a me and my son project. He really loves to edit the videos and everything and help me with that. So he gets to encourage me and I get to encourage him. So it's kind of a fun thing for us to do together. But today we are talking about whatever my recommendation is. So I've kind of thought like every 4th episode would be a recommendation post, but I don't know. This is the Lord's. So we'll just see if that's what we'll end up doing. I am learning, and this is definitely a work in progress. But technically I should be recommending a book or something about adoption. But when I was praying about what the Lord would have me to recommend, I really felt like He wanted me to recommend a series that we have been watching as a family, and that is the Chosen series. But this series does really fit with what we spoke about last weekend when we talked about how Jesus was given to Joseph to adopt, and how through Jesus's birth, death, and resurrection, we are adopted into God's family. So the Chosen series has been around for a few years. I'm not even sure how I first discovered it, who recommended it to me or what, but the first episode I watched, I was hooked. I actually watched the first episode it was at Christmas time. It was probably either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And I completely fell in love. So the series was started after Dallas Jenkins did an episode for his church at Christmas. It was so well done that he was asked to do more. So the Chosen series, it brings to life the life of Jesus. It helps you to get a picture of Jesus the man as you get to watch his life of ministry unfold. And I love how it ties in points from the Old Testament to what is happening in the New Testament. So the first episode you need to watch is The Shepherd. It's actually the one that I watched the first time. It is the perfect thing to watch this Christmas season. I'm going to try to add the link here for you to see it. And I don't want to give away too many details, but this is the story of the birth of Jesus from the perspective of the shepherd. I am a crier, and this really had the tears going. I want to tell you all the details that touch my heart, but I don't want to ruin it. So please go and watch it and tell me what you think. I'm sure like me, you will be hooked and want to watch the series. The series is free to watch. You can watch it on an app, and season 1 was recently launched on Netflix as well. It is viewer supported, which shows the impact it has on the viewer. And I'm going to add the link to watch the series as well. So I recently had the privilege of hearing Dallas Jenkins being interviewed at a leadership conference. Something he said at that conference really impacted me. And it was actually something that God prompted someone to send a message to Dallas on. And the thing is that I had heard this story before, and I will add the link for the YouTube video, the interview. And I watched this interview previously on Facebook and thought it was a great story. But when I heard Dallas say that he is not responsible for feeding the 5,000, but to provide the fishes and loaves that he has, I sat stunned. The time when I heard this message, I was debating with God about starting the blog and podcast and why I did not need to be obedient. So much so so God really wanted me to hear this and act on it. So much so that he had a friend that was there at the conference with me come to me and said, you need to take that word for yourself and you need to take it about your podcast. I had been speaking to her about it earlier, and just, my fears and everything was starting it. And so when she said that, I was like, I know that's what God's been telling me too. So I had been debating and I had been arguing, and then God is good. He had me hear this again, right out of the words of Dallas Jenkins in person, out of his mouth. And here are my fishes and loaves that I am providing. I'm telling you to go watch the Chosen series. We watch it as a family with our 14-year-old son. My older children are adults, so they don't really sit and watch shows with mom and dad too much, but one doesn't even live with me. He's married and has a family of his own. But we watch it with our 14-year-old, and he loves it. We went to see the premiere episodes of 1 and 2 in the theaters. It's of season 3. And when we came out, Dallas Jenkins was there asking what we thought. My son was so sweet, and he definitely wanted to meet him, but he was feeling a little shy. And my face was still tear-streaked. But I was glad to be able to personally thank Dallas for putting this show out there for us to enjoy. I will tell you one thing about why this premiere impacted me. I cannot tell you the number of times I've heard this sermon, the Sermon on the Mount I've read it myself, being spoken to in messages, I couldn't even tell you how many times. And it's always good, but hearing it as Jesus would have preached it, it just brought it to life in such a way, and just the impact of it, the tears just flowed. I cannot adequately describe the impact this series has on me, so you really have to watch it for yourself. Have I stated that enough? So there you have it, my second recommendation. Did you think it was going to be a book? That's okay, I did too. But God is in control of what I put here. I seek Him and I obey. It is how I try to live my life, even though sometimes I struggle with it, especially when He is wanting me to step out in a big way. So what is God calling you to do today? Is it big and scary? Or is it something that you feel is insignificant, but God knows the huge impact it will have tomorrow? Something like message someone you don't really know, but will give him the kick he needs to step out in a big way. I pray that you watch The Chosen and that you provide the fishes and loaves that God has given you. Merry Christmas.